Ready?
I am.
You want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm J Dog. That's Mike, and we're back.
We're back. We're back. We took a week off. It's like midsummer, so we're allowed a break, right?
It was a summer break. We were both on the go. We were safely leaving our homes last week. You have to get out of your home that you've been cooped up in for 4 months, or else you're probably not mentally stable right now.
Yeah, we went to a cabin in the middle of the woods, which was very nice. But yeah, you got to get out, get some sun, go for a run, wear your mask. There's a lot of great stuff we're going to talk about today, especially Dwight Howard and mask.
Okay.
But do you want to talk about the NBA bubble right now? Because a lot of good stuff is coming out from the bubble. Even if they're not playing basketball, there's a lot of good content in the bubble.
It's been amazing. So the Twitter handle at NBA Bubble Life just found what's going on, and they follow every player on Instagram, Snapchat, all their handles, and they're just putting out updates every 2 minutes, and it's great. You see the food they're eating, pretty much bad. You're seeing them; they're all fishing. All these guys who look like they never cast a rod in their life are all fishing in these lakes, which I'm sure Disney just throws fresh bass in these lakes like every night to make sure they're catching something.
I was gonna say, like, I grew up in Florida. You grew up in Florida. How often were you on like that lake or pond in the backyard of your house? I never went on there on a boat.
Never, and there's never like a ton of fish around, so I'm sure Disney pumps them full. So all these guys are catching fish.
Does Disney remove all the alligators? Because if you're not from Florida, alligators are every time you see a pond or a lake, there's an alligator sunbathing on the edge of it. Usually, that's like whatever.
They're everywhere. It's like to anyone else, they're like cows. You see a million cows when you're driving around. We see gators like that. Yeah, there was a terrible attack a few years ago where a kid got drug into the water at one of the beaches from a gator. So they did remove all the gators, luckily. One thing that I thought was interesting is we're playing golf too, which we're playing golf, Mike. In a few weeks, we have a golf outing. And I feel like you're a little bit like these NBA players because I've seen some of their swings and I've seen your swing recently, and there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, when you don't play golf a lot, the swing is tough because I feel like there's a way to do it. And if you're not doing it right, you're not hitting the ball right, and it's going all over the place. And these guys are big guys. Like, I imagine getting a golf club for an NBA player is totally different from a golf club that I can just buy from some stranger off Facebook Marketplace like I did, and it works fine for me. These guys, do they get extended clubs?
They should. Our friend Bob, who's one of our best listeners, was texting me recently because he's a tall person, and he was asking me about an inch extender. I was like, bro, there's no extenders. They just build the shaft longer. So he was a little bit of a novice there. But I saw Julius Irving, Dr. J, on the driving range one time. It was me and him hitting balls, just the two of us.
Okay.
And he's like 7 feet tall, I want to say. And he was using like standard clubs, and his back was like a 90-degree angle at address, like trying to bend over and use normal clubs. And I wanted to tell him, like, they make some for you, but I didn't tell him. Like, Dr. J. Dr. J is a legend, dude. Just let him hit his balls.
I like a lot of the stories coming out saying like NBA players are opening their doors naked for food deliveries, and they're just,
I didn't hear that story.
Yeah, they're just like walking around. The NBA sent out a memo telling the players dress appropriately when you answer your door for room service, because I guess they're just hanging out naked, getting food. I mean, what else do you do? And I heard another story, some guy doing like 4-mile run inside his room because he couldn't leave because they get quarantined for 14 days.
So the media members, I have a few friends who are in the media bubble there, and they got to like get situated and
in
get
the
set
bubble?
up. Yeah, and they run cable. Like if you're on the ESPN, we can get them on if you want.
We got to get them on.
If you're on the ESPN or TNT crew, you're in the bubble. They don't want you coming in and out. So they got to like set up all the cables, and then they got to go grocery shopping and get all their groceries for 3 months, by the way, because they're not allowed out for 3 months.
Jesus.
So he had the best snack assortment I've ever seen. You know, I love the snacks.
Yes, you do.
Just looked amazing. I'm just jealous, actually. But then he says now, after he goes grocery shopping before the season starts, like this little time right now, he can't leave his hotel room for 10 days. The only time he's allowed to open his door is for testing. He doesn't have a balcony. There's no fresh air. It's kind of crazy how serious the bubble is.
I mean, I get what they're doing. It's almost like what New Zealand did. They're just like, guess what? No one can come in. No one can go out. This is what we're doing.
We could have done that in April, and we wouldn't be here right now.
I know. Well, let's. I got a bullshit or believe. We'll play this and we'll talk about some Dwight. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe. So I was gonna put this in Scandal City, but I guess I can't believe it so I just put in bullshit or believe. Dwight Howard has come out and put a whole bunch of videos on social media. I almost got a few clips of him saying this. He doesn't believe in wearing a face mask, and he doesn't believe in vaccines.
Oh.
And if you've been, following Dwight's career for a long time, he used to eat like pounds and pounds of candy, like literally almost a diabetic, how much candy he ate. So I don't know if he.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Sure. But he doesn't believe in face masks, doesn't believe in vaccines, and he's going around. I think he might be the only NBA player not wearing a face mask in the bubble.
He doesn't have to. It's not required. Like even Walmart is required now.
A lot of places are required. Some places are saying they don't want to require it. I know probably like right now as we speak, I think the president is doing his first ever coronavirus briefing after he said it, after it was gone basically, and now he's coming back.
I think it's more of a rally today than a briefing because Dr. Fauci won't be there. But anyway, I did not know that Dwight Howard was not wearing a mask. I think he should. Also, I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know Dwight Howard was still in the NBA.
So not only is he on the NBA, he's on the Lakers, Jeremy. Remember?
He is?
Yeah, he's on the Lakers.
He's playing with LeBron like that.
Yeah, he plays with LeBron. He actually like thinned out a little bit after stopping all that candy.
He really did.
But this conspiracy goes even deeper, Jeremy. He's linked to these like QAnon online forums that are full of conspiracies. I don't know what he's doing in his spare time in the bubble, but I think he's going deep diving on conspiracy theories, and it's not good. It's not good that he is doing this because everybody else there believes it and you're the only one not believing it. Something must be wrong.
Yeah, I'll go bullshit on his conspiracy theories. Really shouldn't be allowed in the bubble if you're not going to buy in. I think the whole point of the bubble. Now, you could argue that the bubble is a bubble and they don't have to still wear masks, which I don't know if that's like a thing. If there's like workers coming in and out of the bubble, or if like after 2 weeks they can just all live their lives, which is what we should be doing in America. Again, if they just shut us down for 2 weeks, we wouldn't be in this situation. I know that's a different story. That's a different podcast.
It's a different podcast. We don't have that one yet, but maybe one day.
No. I think he should be buying it. I didn't know he was still in the NBA. I kind of forgot. Like, who else is on that Lakers team? LeBron's there. Is Lonzo Ball's kid still there?
No. He's on the Pelicans.
Tell me about the Lakers, Mike.
I don't know much. Well, listen, NBA starts in 8 days from now. The playoffs start in 8 days. It's kind of wild. I don't know if they're going to pull it off. The NFL is getting I guess they're getting some like lashback of how they're handling everything. They're all saying we want to play, we want testing, we want all this. 72 players tested positive last week for COVID. I don't know how that. It's something different with basketball when you have a roster of 12 guys. Kind of easy to wrangle them in. But when you have a roster of what is 52, right? I play Madden. It's 52, right?
53 close.
53, whatever. The kicker doesn't count.
The punter, never count the punter.
Never count. I just don't know how they're going to do it because these are not only them, then the staff behind them has to all travel, move with them. Are they actually going to be able to pull this off? Because I don't know if you saw, but on our fantasy league, they started messaging about like players and trading. And honestly, in my mind, I'm like, you guys are dumb.
There's
not
no
playing
season.
fantasy
Don't get
football.
excited.
Yeah. Like,
don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, not at all. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I think NFL is going to be tricky. So all the players came out and they said, like, we need proper medical procedures in place. You're falling behind. You're not keeping us safe. Like, rookies are reporting this week, Mike. All the players report next week. So, like, training camp has arrived. We're like, what, are we 8 weeks away from week one? Maybe like 6 or 7 weeks now from week one of the season. They lost 2 preseason games. No one cares. There might be no preseason games at all. The NFL players all came out on Twitter and said that on Sunday to show you how well organized Goodell and the NFL is. By Monday, they had it all worked out.
All worked out.
Everything's worked out. They have a plan in place for medical. They have a plan in place if a player's sick for their families to get proper health insurance and get coverage. So a lot of the hurdles have been cleared. Now, I still wonder. You think about, for example, the Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback room. What if Tom Brady and every quarterback in the room gets COVID-19? How do you go play a game when you don't have a quarterback who knows the system? It's unlike any other sport. In basketball, if you lose your point guard, someone else plays point guard. You can't play an NFL game without a quarterback. Yeah,
because it's like in the NBA right now, like somebody didn't want to come back, so they're like, oh, we'll just sign this other point guard and bring him in. I don't think this is going to happen with the NFL. I think listen, we could go 3 weeks in the NFL and be like, everything's fine. And then one case pops up, another case pops up, and it just blooms from there, and then everybody can get it. So I'm not holding my breath that this is going to happen. I really want to see how the NHL is doing it right. They left the U.S. They're like, we're dipping.
You're right. And at first I thought it was crazy. At first I thought, wait, this is a American sport, National Hockey League. How are you going to leave America?
North American sport. North
I
American.
guess.
North America. Canada. We have Canada.
No, there's a few teams. There's a few teams. And it makes so much sense. Leave America. It's not safe here. Go where it's safer. Yeah. And if they're letting all these American hockey players in, which I don't know how they're going to quarantine, maybe self-quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel and then they're good. I know me and you can't go to Canada on vacation right now. I know that. And I also know, Mike, the Toronto Blue Jays, Major League Baseball team, is not allowed to play their games in Toronto, and the season starts in 3 days. This Friday, the season
baseball starts.
Yeah, they don't know where they're going to play because Canada won't let American players come and play in Toronto and stay in hotels. They're like, fuck that. We don't want Americans here. Can't blame them. So where is Toronto going to play? We don't know.
Well, all right. So bigger question. Does it even matter that baseball's starting? Should this just be a wash of a season? Because does anybody care? No. Does anybody?
Who are you?
Hold on. NFL is going to be starting soon. Then we're going to have that as well. But right now we have NBA and NHL starting. Are we going to care about baseball?
How dare you host a sports podcast and it's the first team sport back and you're like, who cares? It's a big fucking
deal.
We'll
see. We'll see if they pull it off. Because it was not easy getting in there, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And they had all these disagreements and they're starting way too late. I get all that, but they're starting and it's happening and we have to be thankful it is. And we can't get our hopes up because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if you're playing fantasy baseball or fantasy football.
Definitely not
that it's going to happen or you're going to get your money in the end or the whole season's going to happen or there's going to be a champion. We don't know. So your expectations should be low. But how dare you say it doesn't matter? It's a team sport is back this week.
I was also thinking about this because it's going to affect college players and recruiting college players. Say this year we kind of know who was good. But what about those rookies going into the college year that we're going to have a chance to play? We're not going to know who they are. So I think the year after this might be an issue if no one plays. How are you going to identify these top athletes if you didn't see anybody play for a year?
So you're saying college football, which is not going to happen. So many college campuses in the fall are already saying there's not going to be any students on campus. There's no way you can have these athletes who you don't pay say, hey, come on campus. It's safe here. No, it's not safe for all the students. It's safe for the football team. It just doesn't work that way.
No,
you can't risk it. There's not enough liability insurance on that. And by the way, the Ivy League already canceled their fall sports. And if anyone knows what's going on first, it's Harvard and Yale. They're the smartest ones in every room. So college sports aren't going to happen. Yeah.
Science first.
Imagine using science.
Hey, who knew?
Not every country does, but some should. So it seems like, you're right. College football is not going to happen. And then you're going to enter next NFL draft. But all these players will be available is what I'm thinking. The players who didn't play this year will still be available. Will there be college football in the spring? We don't know. We're open to it. I think you've always been a fan of spring football, right?
Yes, I want some spring football. I did see somebody kind of made an offer to buy the XFL,
Was it you?
Yeah, I wish I could. I
Sell
really
your
feel
house and buy the XFL. They're probably worth the same.
God, I wish if COVID didn't happen, XFL would have been a thing. And every year, like the year before when we were AAF boys.
I can't live in a world where you think it would have all worked out.
It would have worked out.
Not for the COVID.
100% would have worked out.
I can't do it.
I really think college sports are going to take a hit here. I know everybody wants it, but at some point we've become people that I don't even know what I just in this weird routine. I play video games now a lot, dropping hot in Warzone. So if anybody wants to play with me, I'm dropping in Warzone. Our mutual friend drops in Warzone all the time. We're always in. Just boom, there you are. That became my sport. I'm aggressively playing it because I want to win.
It's true. I feel like a lot of us have lost what defines us. What do you like anymore? What do you follow? What interests you? I work out at home. Oh, I eat at home.
Yeah.
Oh, I play video games at home. That's all we do.
Can I tell you what I actually did? I built a home gym. I now have a home gym here. And not only did I do that, I started building my first app, and it's a workout app. I'm putting all my workouts in there so I could easily access them whenever I want.
Wait, it's an app for you, or are you going to market this app?
It's going to be a free app. I will put it out there but right now it's just I'm testing it out, seeing if I like it. I can send you a link if you want to download it, try some workouts. It's called Chunky Monkey.
You're in pretty good shape now. That's a good name. Listen, the name has always been the highlight for us.
Yeah, it's always been the highlight. So
it's all downhill after that.
All downhill. Who knows if the app will even work? But yeah, it's weird. It's like you just start taking up new hobbies. I've read more books than ever. Now I'm making apps. Who knows? I'm just finding time to fill with something that I guess I enjoy. Who knows?
I'm about to travel the country, Mike. That's my next venture. I'm just going to go out there in COVID land. I can't reveal it all right now, but
reveal a little bit.
I'm hitting the road, and we're going out to the mountains. We're going to Idaho soon, but starting in September, I'm free. I'm free on the road, and I'm just going to go visit some people and get some Airbnbs.
Tell our listeners what you're doing. Some people, you're friends with that you don't tell them in a thread, but tell them what you're doing because I think it's exciting what you're doing. It's the new world.
I'm giving up my place of residence temporarily and going to just travel around. Maybe fly, maybe drive. You were trying to tell me drive out west. Just drive. Take the car. It'll feel more like home. We'll see. But I'm out of here. Orlando is not the place to be during a pandemic.
Definitely not the place. You know what you should do? Since leases are really cheap right now, why don't you upgrade your lease to like a camper van or something or a bigger truck? So then you could kind of like, live, sleep kind of situation if need to be on the road. Since you don't have a resident anymore.
Listen, it's much safer. My Camping World stock is taking off. For today's financial update, we can just segue right into that. Camping World is a place you can sell your hotel stocks and invest in the Camping World stuff. It's a good idea. Maybe I will get the Mazda version of
I love it. They'll give you such a sweet deal. It'll be like, no money down, no payments for 6 months. Just take the goddamn car off the lot.
The temporary relocation. So we're heading west. I think it's the mountains is where it's at. I need some mountain air before it gets too cold out there.
Of course,
and then we'll bounce around a little bit. I might see you too.
I have some Scandal City if you want to get into that. You got something else or you want to?
I have more bullshit and believe. Can you play that music one more time?
Yeah. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe.
Mike, we are playing more video games, which means Madden ratings are a big deal. I have a few of the Madden player ratings that came out.
Okay.
Some of them are questionable. I want to see if you bullshit or believe them. All right, the first one, the only 99 in the game, Christian McCaffrey, 99. Bullshit or believe?
Honestly, I'm going to believe it. He held that fucking team together last year with mediocre quarterback play from the quarterback I hate the most, which is Cam Newton, and then two backups that also played. They won games, and not because of quarterback play. Definitely because of him. So I'll give it to him.
99 is really good. I'd give him like a 97. I feel like he'd have a good spin move, a good stiff arm, but 99.
When like Adrian Peterson was on the top of his game, what was he in Madden? Was he not a 99?
Yeah, but are you saying that Christian McCaffrey is as good as Adrian Peterson and as bad as a parent as him?
No. I would say he is a more diverse, like he can do more things in the game. And Adrian Peterson was a north-south kind of guy. And I feel like Christian McCaffrey can kind of do it all. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He takes a lot of hits. I like it.
Another running back who can catch the ball, Mike. Alvin Kamara got an 88 rating. What? Bullshit or believe?
Well, I guess after Ingram left, it was kind of who was the backup there? Because the backup did really well that last year.
It wasn't Mark Ingram. It was
some young kid.
They signed some young kid.
He was good. Yeah, we love football.
Our football knowledge is top notch right now.
I don't like it, but also I wonder how many players are actually in the 90s because I guess it kind of evens out. Because Christian McCaffrey was really great, so I mean I could see it. I don't think he played that well last year.
I think Kamara should be in the 90s.
Who is that? Do I have to look him up? Do I have to look up the roster of the Saints?
Yeah, I don't think it was a rookie. I think it was someone who's not a rookie. But
I thought it was a rookie.
Not exactly sure. You'll find it. All right, here's my next one. A quarterback. Let's do a few quarterbacks here. Let's start with Lamar Jackson. He complained about his rating.
Ty Montgomery? Is that real?
That was not. That must have been this year's roster.
I'm looking at it. It must have been.
I'll find it.
Jameis is on there.
Tell me bullshit or believe Lamar Jackson complaining about his 94 rating. I thought 94 was pretty good.
94 is pretty solid. I like when quarterbacks, I don't want them to be too good in the game because ultimately I want like some, interceptions. I don't want you to be able to run too well because when Mike Vick was in the game and he was like a 99, all you had to do was just run with him. You could never catch him. I don't want somebody to be, you're not perfect. Give me a few flaws and a 94 feels like a perfect rating for somebody that could get hit and bounce the ball. He's a skinny dude. If he gets hit by a linebacker, it's not just going to stay. Who's on the roster, right? You're looking up like
Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray?
He's not a rookie. He's from UCF. I should have known that. My bad. And he's old as fuck.
Oh, you know why? Because Taysom Hill was there. That's why.
That's why. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, that's fine as a 94. How about this quarterback?
Okay.
Deshaun Watson. You know I love the guy. I think you like him too.
I do.
He's an 86.
I hate Bill O'Brien.
I know you do.
He's an 86. You know, well, listen, if he doesn't have Hopkins this year, who's he going to throw the ball to? Only my ball.
But that shouldn't that shouldn't affect his rating, right?
Well, it's like Tom Brady's rating. I don't think Tom Brady's rating should be as high, or even it probably will be close to Deshaun's because he has no receivers. It's like, who are you going to throw the ball to? It's obviously going to impact how you play the game. I know last year he had Hopkins, but they're discombobulated. It's like,
yeah,
if we were so talented and we just didn't have the right manager the whole time, that's why we never got to the right place. It's like great talent, but wrong management of the talent. And that's what's happening in Houston right now.
Wait, we are the Texans?
Sure. Yeah, we're the Texans. Maybe we're not managed right. Maybe we need a better manager.
I'm going to ask for a trade. If it's that easy to get to Arizona, take me to Phoenix. Take me there. I want out. I think Watson should be much higher, even if he has no receivers. My last quarterback here, who, by the way, was the top 10 quarterback in J-Dog's quarterback rankings. You can find it right now on popline.co. Caused a lot of ripples on Reddit. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a 77 in Madden. Bullshit or believe?
I believe it. Middle grade quarterback. Yeah. I believe it so much. I like he's got the talent. He's just not there yet. He needs a year or two to kind of like understand the game a little better. He was a rookie last year. Give him a break. He was great.
They won some games. He made some plays. He runs around. He's accurate. Now he gets Hopkins, the guy you said that Watson should be penalized for. Yes. Maybe Murray should get more credit for having Hopkins and Fitzgerald.
I agree, but you just described a quarterback that sounded like he could also been on the Panthers. Like, oh, he was good enough. He won some games. It's like he was there. So that sounds like a 77 to me.
Yeah, but Cam Newton made it to a Super Bowl. He was much better than 77 for many years.
Yeah, well, Cam Newton just played with a broken shoulder for 3 years, and it was terrible. So
you hate Cam Newton. I thought Kyler Murray was undervalued, but those are a few that jumped out. Get your Madden today. We're big Xbox people, so go get your Madden.
Big Xbox. All right, let's do a little scandal.
Time to dig up the dirtiest stories around the sport world in this week's Scandal City.
All right, obviously there's a big scandal going on. Yeah. But we're going to talk about a smaller one first because
we're not going to talk about the big one.
We are. We're going to get there. We're going to tease it. We're going to tease it, maybe go to a break. Who knows?
A break.
This one I found really weird. Jeremy Roenick, he's suing NBC for anti-straight discrimination. Didn't know that was a thing.
Anti-straight discrimination.
Yes. For wrongful termination and just discrimination based on his gender or sexual orientation.
Well, listen, I obviously can't comment on this. I'm friends with NBC and I'm friends with Jeremy, so I'll let you break this one down.
This just sounds like he wants his job back or something cleared in the air and he's reaching for something here. I've never heard of this before, so it seems like somebody just made this up.
Yeah, sounds like a lawyer term, but we have a lawyer friend who makes things up on a daily basis, so I understand that.
We should ask him about it, actually.
Yeah, I thought Jeremy Roenick was great on NBC. Too bad it didn't work out, but I'm going to stay tight with Jeremy.
Okay. All right, so the big scandal is the Washington football team.
Yeah, I'm glad you said football team because a lot of things have happened since we last had a show. One of them is they're no longer called what they used to be called, and we're not even going to say it on this show because we're not going to give it the time or the space. So the R word is out. They're looking for a new name. We went over the names last time.
You didn't like one of them, but I think that might be the name that's in the lead.
I don't think it's going to be Red Tails. I really don't.
Red Tails was in the lead.
What is a red tail?
I don't know, but if you look back to their old jerseys from like the 70s or something, they have that big R on it. If they keep the R logo, they can keep the colors and the scheme all there and just change it. I found out that it's going to take them like 2 goddamn years to actually change the name.
Do you know why? Because apparently a real estate dude in the Washington, D.C. area copyrighted the top 60 names, all the names that you went over on your list. So they can't use any of those until they get the rights for them.
Now, before this airs, Jeremy, we have to do this for some other teams that might be in hot water at some point with some of their names.
The Cleveland baseball team, Atlanta baseball team.
I'm willing to squat on every name possible. On all these other names. This guy did it right. I love that he did this. This was great.
This is a Mike move. I'll give him credit. This is a Mike move. You've done this in the past. You've owned different podcast names. Yeah. You're all about the branding and the name, and you're really good at it.
We can say that we sent out a cease and desist letter to multiple big companies that have stolen our name. And we have this name trademarked. It is trademarked in the we are up there. So if you use it, there might be some legal action headed.
I hope you do use it actually, and we'll come after you. So this is a challenge to anyone wanting to steal our name. Try it.
So yeah, the Washington football team now has a new name potentially going to pop up in 2 years. Their whole entire management staff was sexually harassing pretty much everybody on the team. Stuff with Jay Gruden seems pretty on point with some of the things happening with him. I love that he's like texting like some of the guys on the team. What he did. It's a very weird situation. I don't know what's true, what's not true, but there's like a list of people that were like accused of sexual harassment that I have right here.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Larry Michael, radio broadcaster. Alex Santos, director of personnel. Richard Mann, assistant director of personnel. Dennis Green, president of business. Mitch Greenstrom, chief operating officer. And then there's a whole bunch of other trainers and employees who hooked up with the cheerleaders. So I don't know what's happening there. It seems like a Jeffrey Epstein situation going on over there, like where they're just everybody's hush hush, things are happening. Did you actually see the Jeffrey Epstein, the trial, the juror, the
judge was the judge. Someone came and murdered her kid.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Shit is going down. So
it's going down. It really is. Back to Washington.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got sidetracked.
No, I know you did. Listen, I think that's a toxic culture that's been going on for a long time, and we knew Daniel Snyder was a loser and an idiot. We didn't know he was also orchestrating a lot of this harassment. So he needs to give up the team. A lot of people, Redskins fans and others, thought he should give up the team prior to this because he's just a shitty owner and he ran them into the ground. And he's just so rich, he's going to fight for it. He's going to hang on to it. And this is a rich person problem. We're going to have to grab it out of his hands. But the minority owners have said, we're going to sell our stake unless you get out. And then what happens if like no one buys their minority stake? I don't know how that works, but he needs to go. And I feel bad for all the women here. And it's a point where we need to keep in mind how difficult a road it is for women so often in sports and media and so many fields. And for them to be subjected to this is bullshit.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be like checks and balances going on. And it seems weird that this went on for so long.
Yeah.
But kind of wild that so many people were involved. That's it. Like, I don't know if you watched that Jeffrey Epstein thing on TV.
On Netflix. Yeah, it's really good. It was right in my neighborhood. West Palm Beach is where I grew up. Like I feel like he was preying on my high school and I didn't even know it because I was a man.
It's kind of wild. So I feel like this is what's happening with the Washington football team. That they're
a little bit of
this happened. A lot of hush money, just like a ton of people involved. Who knows what's gonna happen? But it's kind of crazy and just like this is real life. This is not a movie. 2020. This is like a real world. Shit is happening this year.
You know, someone reminded me that Kobe passed away this year, and it's like it's so easy to forget, and it sucks so much that he didn't have the proper like send off because less than a month after that happened, like everything else happened with COVID and the racial stuff, and it's just been an unbelievable year that looks like it's not getting better anytime soon.
No. Do you got a J-Dog takes on, or I got some food news? What do you want to do?
My J-Dog takes on was going to be college football, but listen, we're not having it. Just letting everyone know, if you're planning your fall around college football, just schedule something else on Saturdays. NFL might play Saturdays, but not college football. So let's get to food news.
All right. Well, I wish I knew where that was. There it is.
Here's what I found. Here's some news for food news.
All right. So I have two things for food news. Some Florida-based grocery chains are not requiring masks. They say, we don't want to cause undue friction. That is Florida for you. That is why it's spreading. So that's part of my food news.
Thanks picking on me. So Winn-Dixie was fighting the masks for a while. They were like the last holdover, and they did agree to mandate masks. So I feel like we're close to being required.
Okay, that's good. We need them.
Yeah.
This was kind of food news, but there's going to be a boat-in floating movie theater, and they're coming to LA where you're going to be able to get on a boat, get some free popcorn and some drinks, and watch movies on a boat.
Are you the only person? Like, do you rent a boat? Do you have to bring your own boat? Are you the only person on the boat?
I think it's like you have to rent a boat, so it might be through like the marina or something like that where you can rent it, or if you know a person with the boat, it just might be a big blow-up thing. Maybe tune into like a radio station, kind of like a drive-in movie theater.
I've seen the drive-in movie theaters, and I applaud the ideas. Like it was happening in Dolphin Stadium, which is kind of cool. You park on the field and like watch it on the Jumbotron. Cool. But in general, not super excited for that.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather kind of sit in my living room in my underwear and watch a movie, and not like drive to a parking lot and sit in my car for 3 hours watching a movie.
Yeah, but I do get like sometimes I'll just stay home all week, like working and just like working out, and then you realize like you haven't left in a few days, and then I can see where people need to get out.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Can you believe, by the way, that we started on March 12th talking about how crazy this all is, and now it's July 21st, and we're still like just stuck inside all day?
I don't know. I mean, I'm supposed to have a wedding next year overseas. I don't know if that's happening anymore with the COVID. A lot of weddings are getting canceled.
That would be rough because I obviously want to marry you in France. And when I say marry you, I don't mean marry you. I mean proceed over the wedding.
Yes. You'll be, what do they call it? You'll be our ordained Jewish
minister. Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of time to plan it now.
You should have
a lot of time for that script. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. I mean, there's nothing else going on. We got sports next week, so hopefully we have some more content next week. We might be coming out with like a special series maybe at some point this summer that could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's all I got. Check out popline.co. There's blogs up there. There's podcast.
Baseball is back this weekend.
Baseball's back this weekend if you're into that kind of thing. Basketball and hockey are back 10 days from now. So that's exciting.
Week. We'll preview those next week.
Okay. So follow us on popline.co on Twitter and on Instagram. And if we don't go rest some lesser abuse, hopefully we are back next week.